What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Bass Thumbs Fishing Podcast, where we are constantly trying to keep our thumbs ripped up. Tonight, I'm really excited about tonight. I got a good friend of mine and the owner and CEO of Rogue Fishing Co., Mr. Mark Drury, in the house tonight. Really excited to bring him in here. Going to ask him some questions about his company, how he fell in love with fishing, maybe what he looks for in a pro staff angler, and kind of just see where the night takes us from there. I'm really excited. He's a great guy. He's awesome for the kayak fishing community and the industry as a whole. He brings a lot of awesome, exciting, innovative products to the table. And I'm just really excited and looking forward to hearing more for him tonight. I do have a little special guest behind me. My son's hanging out with me tonight, so he's going to be with me for a second. But I can't wait to just bring Mark in here tonight. But just a couple of housekeeping things. First and foremost, welcome to tonight's show. If you guys are watching on my Facebook page, I just kind of fired up the Facebook page. I appreciate you guys. On my YouTube channel as well, I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to go ahead and leave a comment, maybe where you guys are watching from, that'd be awesome. I really appreciate your guys' support. And tonight we are doing some giveaways tonight of a couple products, a couple Rogue Fishing products. I am a part of the team at Rogue, and I'm super honored and thankful to be a part of their team. I've been running their product ever since they kind of hit the market. Their phone tether, their Titan board leash. They even have some stand-up assists and some handles to drag your guys' kayaks as well. They just got a ton of awesome products, and I run pretty much all of them. I never go on the water, especially without my phone tether. That phone tether has saved me multiple times when you're really excited and you got a big fish on your kayak and you're getting your phone out. Your phone can stumble and fall in the water, but it has saved me time and time again. And again, I'm just thankful to be a part of their team and stoked to have Mark on here tonight. And then also just kind of what's happening around the kayak fishing community out here on the West Coast. I want to give a shout out to I want to give a shout out to, dang it, I'm butchering his name right now. I want to say Garrett Gilberath, or I totally butchered his name, but he just won the Wild West kayak series and the California Bass Nation series out here. So we're gonna have him on next week. I'm really stoked to hear how he won it. And also we have the ABA kayak series starting on June 25th and 26th. They actually just kind of changed some things on their pre-fishing days. So if you guys head over to their Instagram page, you guys can see that they are now opening up the weekend prior to the event. I think it's the 18th and the 19th are the official practice days, plus the 22nd. Also, that Wednesday is going to be a practice day. So there's going to be 3 practice days. And I cannot wait for Lower Otay. I know Cody Henley's going to make his way out. He's leading the AOI and KBF. He's going to come down with Cayman Rasmussen. Those guys are on fire from Utah, and I've heard today that they're going to be coming out to Lower Otay, so looking forward to seeing them. I know Bryce Gibbs and all the Arizona crew is going to be cruising out too, and I know some NorCal hammers as well are going to be coming down, so Otay is going to be an absolute slugfest. So bring your guys' power fishing stuff. It's going to be a good time. Looking forward to that. Let's see who's in the chat really quick. I see Anthony from G Team Outdoors. I see Chris Cabral's in the chat. B. Giovanni's in the chat. Bobby Whitler's in the chat. Again, make sure you guys are active in the chat tonight. Towards the end of this episode, I'll have you guys maybe post a certain comment, and then I'll scroll through those comments, and that's how we're going to choose our giveaway winners tonight. So again, if you guys have any questions for Mark when we're talking, make sure you guys, don't feel shy. Make sure you guys leave a comment in there, and I'll go ahead and get some questions for Mark as well. So let's just go ahead and bring Mark in here. Stoked to get him in here. Let's go. What's up, Mark? How you doing,
up,
man?
Buddy? How are you, man?
I'm
Had
good.
I known, I would have done this from my bed tonight. Goodness.
I know. I'm thinking about just heading back there and joining him right now,
dude. Man. Let's do
it. Yeah, man. But dude, welcome to the Bass Thumbs Fishing Podcast, man. And I'm stoked to have you. I know that we've had tons of phone calls, talked about a lot of different products over the last couple of years. I went out to Tennessee. We almost connected out there, but man, it's just good to finally see you in person. And again, welcome to the Bass Thumbs Fishing Show, man. We're honored to have you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate your friendship that we've had for the last couple of years and everything you've done for us. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Cool, man. Yeah, me too. I'm stoked to see where this night takes us. But
Yeah.
we got a ton of guys in the chat tonight. And I'm stoked to have like again, I've been trying to push this new like YouTube, Facebook platform for my podcast. So again, appreciate you guys all cruising in here. We got Arizona, Nevada. We got some guys from all over the place. So that's really cool.
Cool.
But anyways, Mark, to kind of start off the night, let's go ahead and hear like who's Mark Drury. We all know that you're the CEO and founder of Rogue. Well, if you guys didn't know, now you know. But this is the CEO and founder of Rogue Fishing Co. But who is Mark, and how did you fall in love with fishing, man? What's your story?
Yeah. So I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, 9, 6, and 3. 2 boys and then the girl. We're in southern Middle Tennessee. We're just south of Nashville, about 30 minutes or so. I'm originally from Florida. Grew up in Florida till I was about 16, and then we moved up here as our family moved up here. And really, fishing, man, it's kind of been something that I've done as long as I can remember. Our house in Florida had a pond out the back of it that my dad and I would go and catch bluegill in. And man, I remember my first bass ever. I couldn't have been older than 9 years old, 9 years old. I'd always go fishing for bluegill. I just wanted to catch a fish, right? And so there was one time where my dad had brought these little plastic worms down to the pond. I said, "Well, I want to try one of those." So I'm throwing them out, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Dad, this is really tough to reel in." And this bass, you just see the side of the bass, kind of the sun hits the side of it and just glares up in my eyes. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's a big fish!" And I mean, that was literally it. That's all it took.
That's all it
And
takes. Yeah.
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 And so I fished the fire out of that pond whenever I was a kid, and then moving up to Tennessee here. I was a teenager when we moved up here, and high school, can lead you in different directions, and fishing kind of took a back burner there for a little while. But once I got out of high school, I found it again and really started falling in love. And I mean, it's really something I've done my entire life. And this business is a business that's born out of a passion for fishing and kayaking and kayak fishing. So
Yeah.
it's been a fun journey.
I love hearing those stories from like a grown man, because it's kind of like my son. We've been fishing with him quite a bit. He loves fishing. He's growing. You could tell he's starting to grow that passion for it.
Yep.
So hearing your stories about like catching bluegills with your dad and remembering your first fish, it's not emotional for me, but it kind of like sets in like, man, like I'm kind of implanting that in him right now, and you could tell like like when that feeling is like starting to grow, and like you could
Right.
just he's all about it. And we went out a couple weekends ago. We were out down at this little local lake, dude, and we sat at the dock for hours and just smashed bluegill on live bait, and he just has a blast. Like
Yep.
it's the best way to introduce kids to fishing. Just get them on a dock, because bluegills are always around docks, like a
Yep.
little floating dock, and just
Yep.
throw that mealworm or that worm out there with a bobber and just let them catch some fish. So
That's it. And that's what we've been doing with my 9-year-old as well. He's
yeah.
he's the athletic, outdoorsy one of the 3 so far that we can tell. And he's been my fishing buddy for sure. I've just in the last year or 2 had him out on my kayak with me. Over the Memorial Day weekend we had, we took all of our kayaks out, and he was on a little Pelican sup, just like pedaling around the waters.
That's
and just
sick.
loving it, man.
Yeah.
Going and getting the fishing pole and fishing, and it's fun to foster that in the next, not only in the next generation, but in my lineage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
I know that do you compete in kayak tournaments, or do you compete locally maybe? Or
you know what, when I first got into kayak angling, I think, like everybody does whenever you get into something. Well, for me anyways, I dreamed of like what could be, could I do this at a local, regional, national level? And I quickly found out the answer is no. So I have fished tournaments. I haven't fished them in a while. If I do, I go out to donate money and to support the local club. But anything regional or national, I leave to you guys. you guys go
And
out and do
and
that.
what kayak do you have, and what do you fish out of?
Yeah, so I just recently I had for several years I had a Native Titan and loved it, the 13.5, the big boy. I'm a big guy, so it was a great kayak for me, and I just recently got rid of that, and I have a PA 14 now, Hobie. So
Nice.
yeah, I've had it out 3 or 4 times so far in the last couple months, but it's been a great kayak so far.
So let's dive in a little bit to rogue fishing.
Okay.
I mean, I've one of the things that attracted me most when I first saw Rogue um was like your guys' branding, your guys' logo, the way that you guys took the industry like by storm almost, and just like really dove all in 100% to the kayak community. Um can you kind of talk about that and how that kind of developed?
Yeah. So Rogue started from I was actually to back up a little bit before Rogue. I was in the music business for 13 or 14 years. Again, we're just south of Nashville here, and I spent most of those years in recording studios as a recording engineer, mixing songs or albums for artists. And then I got into um, I started to get a little burnout on that. That's a tough grind. It's 14, 16-hour days every day. There's no windows in a studio, so you don't even know if it's sunny outside or not. And so I started looking for something different, and I got into sales and distribution within the entertainment music industry. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there moved into artist management. And then my wife and I was still feeling pretty burnout just on the music industry and trying to figure out what was next. And so my wife and I kind of sat down and said, what's important to us? We had 2 kids at the time, both, our boys, and we were having some small issues with their daycare that they were at. And so we made the decision, the uncommon decision for me, a man, to be a stay-at-home dad. And I did that for a couple of years, and that's really where I started fishing a lot more frequently. I loved it, but I needed a hobby. I loved staying at home with my boys, but I needed a hobby. I needed
Yeah,
to go do something by myself. And so
for
I started
sure.
fishing, and then started reading, seeing more about this kayak stuff, these guys in these little plastic boats. And so I gave it a go, and just fell in love with it. It was just awesome. So that was where the beginning of kayak fishing started for me.
Okay, and
Um,
what year was that?
that would have been 2016, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
And then we're fast forward to 2018, the summer of 2018. I had some friends that I worked with at one of the artist management companies over for a grill out one night, and
Mhm.
they were like, "Man, you're living that stay at home dad life. What are you doing in your free time?" And I said, "Well, I've gotten into kayak fishing, and I've started making these really like these leashes, and it's super crude. It didn't look finished like or polished like the product that we have now." And I was like, here, I've made this. And they looked at it and were like, "Man, this is really cool. You should make a business out of that." And I was like, "Yeah, I've done that. I've owned recording studio. Like, I've done that. I'm kind of enjoying
Wow.
my life now." And they were like, "No, seriously, you should do that." And so I I would I said, "Well, let me think about that." And so as I started, whenever you're starting a business, you want to analyze what the competition is in the current marketplace. What products could you offer? I started looking at all of these things from an analytical standpoint, and also the people specifically one of the guys who was encouraging me to get into it was a videographer. He does motion graphics, like 3D graphics. He does
Yeah.
graphic design. He designed our logo. And so I told him, I said, "Man," I said, "we're not going to have any sort of advertising budget, out of the gate. Like, if I were to do this, we're going to bootstrap this." And really, I see a lot of like guerrilla marketing, right? With social media and just kind of trying to get the boots on the ground to get the word out, starting a
Yeah.
fishing team, having pro staff to help, spread the gospel, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
I want to get into the pro staff like on a
yeah,
separate note, so we'll get
sure.
back into that.
Totally.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, "Man, I'll do it, but I'm not going to do it without you." And he was a very close friend of mine, very trusted friend of mine. And so he's my business partner. And so we launched Road together, and He's more of the artistic creative side. So he helped with, I told him, I said, hey man, what about like rogue fishing? It kind of has a tactical feel to it. One of the examples, whether you like Fords or not, one of the examples I gave him, I said, think like what the Ford Raptor is to an F-150, right? They're very similar, but one is just beefier and more tactical looking, and it's got all the mods and upgrades. Like that's what I want Rogue to be. And so like that was literally the direction I gave him, and he came back with a very close version of this logo. Basically like the whole logo was on the same line, so it was like Rogue Fishing Co. And it was too long, so I said, is there anything we do? He goes, yeah, let's stack it. And that was literally like within 10 minutes of him showing me the 5 or 6 different versions he made, we had our logo, and it hasn't changed since. So
wow.
So
That's awesome.
we took that summer, then it was right about this time of year in 2018, and we took that summer to really hone in. I started dialing in on the products that we launched with, what we wanted our social media to look like, the messaging to our customers, how we would interact with them, and went out and did some test photo shoots, and then a big photo shoot with about 15 anglers, and just really kind of got it dialed in. Again, bootstrapped it with a budget about that big, just to get it going. We didn't have investors or anything like that. And so we launched January 1st of 2019. And
wow.
So we're a little over, I guess 3.5 years old almost. And it's been ups and downs like any business is, but it's just been a blessing. It's been so much fun. I've gotten to meet awesome people like yourself, and it's been an honor.
So have you now 3.5 years in? Is this your full-time gig now? Like this is all you do right now?
All we do. Yeah. I'm actually sitting
Nice.
in, we started in our garage, and a
Wow,
little
that's sick, dude.
375 square foot garage. And we were in there until May of last year. And then we got this place, which it's not huge. It's about 2,000 square feet, but that's a whole lot more than 350 square feet. So
I remember when I got my first Rogue product, I think it was a phone leash. And I remember you wrote like a little note to everyone. And even my father-in-law and like my friends, they're like, dude, he even wrote like a little like handwritten note. Like it was just cool, like that you were like in the beginning part of your guys's, business, like you were very, and you still are, but I'm just saying like at first it was like very intentional, and like it was very like I don't know, it just felt like we were like a part of Rogue, you know what I mean? Even though we weren't pro staff or anything, it was just like, dude, that's sick. Like he's handwriting notes on the cards, and
we still do that.
You still do that? Okay.
Yeah. I don't do the shipping anymore. I've had to delegate that off.
Yeah.
But it's actually my dad who does it. So
that's awesome.
If you get a note from Marty, that's my dad.
That goes a long way. Yeah.
It does. And that meant a lot.
I know I've always gotten like, now I get team stuff from you. So it's just like, but
yeah, sure.
But Marty's writing the handwritten stuff now. I think that's really cool and really intentional, dude. I really do. Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, that was on purpose. One thing, whenever Jeremy's my business partner, whenever Jeremy and I were sitting down, I said, man, I want one of like the core values of our business to treat people how you would want to be treated. Like it's simple. Like if the world functioned like that, we would not be in the mess we're in right now. Right.
right.
But unfortunately, so many people and businesses get they get blinders on and very focused on profits and bottom lines and top lines and all these things that absolutely matter. But we literally, like, you and I would not be having this conversation if it were not for you, the customer. Right. Like, so
I hear you.
It starts with you and it ends with you. And I want all of our customers to feel valued. So yeah.
Ethan Jett said #Rogue for life.
Ethan is an employee, a Rogue employee, and he just finished second in the Hobie BOS at where was it? At Chickamauga.
At Chickamauga,
he finished second place. So I'm proud of that man. He's a Roger, and we eat, sleep, and breathe kayak fishing around here. It's not it is a job, but it's so much more than a job.
Dude, when I was out in Tennessee, when I went out there with Paddle and Fin, and I was going to Del Hollow, and I see like Percy Priest right there, and I knew Chickamauga. I know it wasn't like too close, but it was like still like I'm in the area. Like, dude, that whole area is just Tennessee is just like I would
So
love to be there. It's just really hard for
yeah,
me and my wife to leave. Like I live 5 minutes from my mom and 10 minutes from her mom, so like we have 24-hour 24-hour babysitting care.
dude, that's the
So
same
it's
here. That's
just
the same
so
here.
hard to
My
leave. But
my parents live 15 minutes from us, and my in-laws live about 40 minutes from us. So
yeah.
yeah, it's built in,
Hey
and
Mark, one second really quick. We do have a lot more viewers right now. If you're tuning in right now, we appreciate you guys. Please stick around and be active in the chat. Ask Mark any questions that you guys have, maybe more like related to like Rogue, and like maybe even leave a comment on like what your favorite Rogue product is if you guys are running Rogue stuff. If you're not, you need to be. Also, we're going to be giving away a few Rogue products tonight, so stick around. At the end, we're going to go ahead and give it away. We'll be wrapped up in about an hour tonight. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in. But all right, let's get back to it, Mark. So,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so Nashville itself, I mean, dude, we're 2 hours from Kentucky Lake, we're 2 hours from Chickamauga, Pickwick,
Yeah,
we've got Gunnersville and Wheeler, like
it's just
all within our
ridiculous.
backyard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't it's funny, you start a fishing business and you fish less than you ever have in your life, but
yeah,
I don't get to go to those places very often or at all anymore, but
yeah,
other than maybe if we're sponsoring a tournament or something, but
yeah,
yeah, it's a pretty awesome part of the country to live in.
yeah. Well, so again, so like you kind of brought us up to like that point of like, all right, this is who Rogue is, but like when did it really click for you? Like, all right, I'm gonna continue to do this, and I feel like there's like a future, like a long term future with
Yeah.
Rogue. Like, when did that moment kind of happen? And also talk about like how much you've kind of invested in KBF, because I see your logo on there, and I know you and Chad are probably really close, and like you really dove into the kayak fishing, industry. So you want to kind of touch on that?
Yeah. I mean, I had to. Chad was a
Yeah,
very early supporter of us, and
yeah,
he's been a very good friend, and just am grateful for everything he's done for us and for me personally, just as a friend. So yeah, but yeah, we had to jump in with KBF. They're just
yeah,
great supporters.
yeah.
But yeah. So what was there another? Sorry, did you ask a question before that?
Yeah, I kind of asked a group of questions there. So like what was like that moment where you're like, all right, this is going to be like a long-term thing in the
Yeah.
industry. Like I've kind of set my feet in here. Like what was that? What did that moment look like for you? Or like when did you feel like I'm investing everything in this? I'm going for it.
Yeah. So it's a great question. So I think when you start a business, you have these hopes and dreams of what it could be, right? Kind of like I was talking earlier about, like when you get into fishing, like, ooh, how far could I go in this? And
Yeah.
so, but you never like. There's so many circumstances that are within and without of your control that affect your business. And it was probably about in the first 9 months or so. When we first launched, we didn't have a phone tether, which is what most people are introduced to the brand with, is our phone tether.
Yep.
And so that didn't release until June. We launched January. I was working on that almost immediately. I had somebody come and say, "Hey, there's not a great solution," and I wanted something that would be a universal fit, that could be on and off your phones in seconds, and I just wasn't finding a good solution that's rugged for outdoorsmen. And so
Yeah.
we launched that, and I think it was June 3rd. I think it just turned 3 years old a couple days ago, and that's when things really started to pick up, and I started to see, oh, okay, man, maybe we got a product here, that can hold its own, and it was about that September. Then a couple months later, we're gaining momentum. My wife I'm blessed to have a wife who has a marketing background, so she's helped
That
give
makes
me.
sense, dude. That makes sense because you
Yeah.
guys you guys kill it.
And early on, and she does her own freelance marketing. Unfortunately, she is busier than Rogue can afford to pay her. So, but she was able to instill some marketing principles in me early on, and
Yeah.
really help to guide us in the right direction. But it was about that September that she said, "Hey, what if we tried running an ad? We could try for the phone tether, and we could do like $35, a $35 budget for a week." And I
Yeah.
was like, I could lose $35. Sure, let's try it. And I think that was whenever we started to see things shift. Is we took that ad, and there's so much methodology behind ads and on Instagram and Facebook and beyond, that I won't get into. But we really started to see things pick up once we started doing that, and we realized we had something. And at that point, it was like, okay, we need to start just pushing in all of our chips, and here we go. And at
Yeah.
that point, I was still a stay-at-home dad full time. So it was me going out on nap times and fulfilling orders.
Yeah.
So
So
it was.
would you say your phone tether is like your number one seller?
It is, yeah,
It is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what
Do you
happened with
have one?
that?
Do you have
I
one
do.
close by? You want to
Yep,
show
I've
it?
got one. So basically, the way that it works, I'll try to get out of the way here.
No, yeah, you're
You've
good.
got a silicone case here, and that goes around. If you have your cell phone, it goes around the four corners of your phone,
Yeah.
just like that. And you can adjust it. If you have a camera with a third lens, you can just kind of move that over a little bit, and it stays right out of the way. But then it's on. You drop your phone. If you attach it right to your life jacket.
Yeah.
And if you have a fish that's jumping, a lot of times your first inclination is to take both hands and try to catch the fish,
Yep.
right? Well, where's the phone going that was just in your hand, right?
Yep.
Hopefully just on the deck of your boat if you don't have a tether. But yeah, that's been our best seller for sure. Just because this little thing here, I mean, is everything. It's our business, it's our life, it's our memories, it's
Dude, but not only
everything.
that, in a kayak tournament, it is literally
It's done.
everything.
You are
You are
done.
done if you
Done.
drop that
Pack
thing
up
in
and
the
go home.
water. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
there's not really, I mean, there's certain things you might be able to maneuver to get around. Like if you have a GoPro or something, maybe something crazy, but like for the most part, you're done.
Right.
So to invest, and how much do those retail for, Mark?
$20, 19.99. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's cheap it's
you
cheap insurance,
yeah,
like,
you can't beat that.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was, and that was actually the first product that Chad Hoover saw of ours. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. But yeah, he had posted a video like that, and he just said like that sinking feeling, and it was a quick video of him and Gene Jensen were out fishing, and he pulls out his phone and it flops over the edge, and you hear it go boop, and
Yep.
then he looks at Gene and goes, I just dropped my phone in the water. And that was like the video. That was it. It was like 15 seconds long. We had a
Yeah.
mutual friend who said, hey man, you need to check out Rogue's phone tether. And
Yeah.
Chad lives about an hour from us where we're at, and so he and I got on a
It's at
phone
the
pretty.
point right now, Mark, where it's like I'll hear people drop their phone in the water, and I just kind of look at them like, bro,
Why?
like
Why?
you don't have a rogue leash, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
gotta
so,
have that phone tied up to something, dude. At least put like, man, if you don't have a rogue leash, put like tie something to that thing, dude.
yeah,
Like, why are you dropping your phone in the water? Come on
yeah.
now. It's 2022 and Rogue's taking the market.
Here we are. Let's do
Let's
it.
get a
Yeah.
phone leash on that thing. Phone
Yep.
tether.
Right. Yeah. So when I designed it, I designed it with us in mind, with kayakers in mind, right?
Yeah,
Like I knew the CPR and how difficult that is. Like that is not an easy process.
for
That
sure.
is something that takes practice and practice and practice, right? And
Yeah.
so I was developing it with us, the kayaker in mind, not
Yeah.
even thinking of hunting, guys in tree stands. If you drop your phone 20 feet, you could break or lose your phone.
Yep.
If you don't, you got to crawl down your stand, and you're scaring every buck within 2 miles away, right? So
Yep.
we deal with.
I'm saying yep, like I have no
Yeah,
clue. I've never been in a tree
yeah.
stand before. I've seen it. I want to, but I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. And so we also didn't even realize the potential that we have for industries outside of like the outdoor space, but like construction companies are buying them. We have a production facility. There's a company in Knoxville that has 6 production plants across the country, and they've made our phone tether, not a phone tether, ours mandatory when you're on the production floor. Um,
Wow.
Talking with what is it? An elevator company that has 180 to 200 elevator mechanics in New York City, right? Think of all the elevators that they
Yeah.
have. They just had a phone drop down a 52 story shaft. If somebody is on the bottom of that, it doesn't matter if they have a hard hat on. They're, like
Yeah.
it's bad. And so
Wow.
these safety managers are coming to us wanting to order 300 at a time, which I love. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great from a business standpoint. But I didn't realize how far this would reach, how many different verticals that this would touch,
Yeah.
outside of us, the kayak angler. And so that's been fun to have developed and invented. And we have a patent that was just granted on it last month.
Awesome, dude.
That I'm waiting on the final patent to actually come to the office. But
Nice.
to have invented something that has been, so well received by tens of thousands of people. So
Yeah.
it's humbling for sure. And again, it's something you kind of dream of when you start a business, but
Yeah.
you never really know,
Yeah.
and so
See, the
it's
one
been
one thing
cool.
that's most intriguing to me, Mark, is like I know that we have a lot of anglers on this show. We're always highlighting like the national level winners and stuff. But man, and I know that you said like I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. But dude, you have found like this niche in our community, and now like from what you're telling me and what you told me on the phone the other day, like now you're gonna be able to take this not even just into our industry, but you're gonna take it into like I'm praying that it turns into like a global thing for you,
Yeah,
man. Like I think it's just so cool that it started with like a kayak idea and a kayak angler, need to a need across the world, which could change your life
yeah,
and also grow the company and further the innovation and give you more tools to innovate farther into our industry and into other industries. And bro, that's 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 pretty incredible, and that beats I would say that beats a lot of these trophies that we're winning. You're going for like that big time trophy, and I really hope it works out for you because I know
I
that you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, man.
I have. Yeah, it's been a ride. I mean, I was telling you, we were starting ads, that September of 2019. Well, what was right around the corner from that was the pandemic, whenever everything outdoors just exploded. So
Right.
year one, I was kind of gaining my footing on what an e-commerce business looks like,
Uh-huh.
the logistics of pick, packing, and shipping orders every day, and manufacturing and suppliers and backup suppliers. It's kind of learning all that on a real small scale. Then 2020 happens and everything just blows up. We've been running our ads and starting to dial them in right when the pandemic happened. And that, obviously everybody's buying kayaks. You hear stories
Yep.
about how kayak manufacturers are still 10,000 plus boats behind on orders, and,
Yep.
all these things. So, that obviously that affects the kayak accessory companies as well. And so it was one of those things where I don't believe in right place at the right time. I believe that you're prepared at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, what we were. And we saw something like a 1,200% growth in 2020 over our first year in business, which is just stupid.
Wow.
That's crazy, but it
Yeah.
was, and it was a lot. It was a lot to keep up with that growth, but we
I mean,
managed. And
I know that this is like a very small part of it, but like when I came on to Kayak Fish Supplies and they were asking like, okay, like what are new companies that we could maybe sell at our store
yeah,
that are hitting the market hard? And honestly, like you and like One Objective were like the first people that I like thought of right out of the gate. Like
yeah,
Josh and James are making all the mounts and stuff and killing it. And then I got my boy Mark at Rogue, and like your guys' stuff hit the shop, and like dude, we put in some good orders at the shop. Like we go
yeah,
through some orders there, and it's just cool to kind of see like the connections made, like just you and I just starting off as friends, and then like now you're in a shop on the far end of the West Coast, and it's
right.
doing well, and like I know you got stuff all over the country. It's just cool how these little connections for you have benefited the business, and it's just like I don't know, it's just so cool to see it continue to grow, man.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I love about this. You always hear about the brotherhood, the community that is kayak fishing, right? And so you and I create this brotherhood, even if we've never met. We have a common kinship in kayak fishing, and so you use our products, you trust them, you use them on a weekly, if not daily basis, right? And so um, it's just cool to be able to do this with friends,
Yeah,
and
for
in
sure.
in a tight knit community.
Yeah.
that expands to the business. It's not only the angler side that's tight, right? It's
Right,
also
right.
the business and the industry side of it as well.
So another thing too, again, we got a few more people in here. So I just want to say, like, this is Mark Drury. He's the CEO, founder of Rogue Fishing. He's kind of taking us through his journey of starting this business. And if you guys are joining us right now for the first time, we're also going to be giving away some product. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Leave some comments for Mark, and we'd love to get those answered. There are some people leaving some comments.
Cool.
I got some comments about your guys' products. So Mark, you want to just take us through like what products you guys have? Like, I know we've been talking about your phone leash, but you
Yeah.
also have your Titan board leash and like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
Yeah, we'll start there. I just in case you asked, I pulled them all to the side here. So
Nice.
I'll do the Titan here since you
Okay,
had just mentioned that. So
that's probably my second favorite.
this is I've like from a visual stand, like an aesthetic standpoint, this is my favorite leash. Like it's
Yeah,
the coolest leash. So
yeah,
this is a leash that we developed for your catch board.
yep,
It's got a real heavy duty Cobra buckle right in the middle. It's got a
yep,
quick detached strap. This snaps right into your catch board, and then obviously you anchor it to any anchor point on your kayak.
yep.
And then the cool thing is, you're fishing at the end of the day, you're tired, boom, you just undo that, you carry your catch board to your truck, and you're off.
Boom. Yep.
It's simplified setup. Leave that on your kayak. So that's been a great product for it. I love the look of it. It's just got a great kind of matches the brand, that tactical kind of
Yeah.
look and feel. And
Okay, I have a quick story about that right there.
yeah,
Okay,
man.
I think I told you this. I'll make it quick. I was driving home. I have my kayak on a trailer. I hear a honking, and I'm like, "Oh no, my kayak is gone," or something. Like something's wrong. He's honking at me, trying to get my attention. And I look back, and I see my catchboard just on the ground, just like riding on the street like this. But dude, it was hooked to that Titan board leash, and I must have dragged that catchboard and that board leash for I don't know how many miles on the freeway, mind you. And it still saved my board, and the leash did not break or anything. It was grinded, but that just goes the bulletproof of Rogue
That's
Fishing
crazy.
right there. Like,
It's fun. It's so funny you say that, because I was just talking with Ethan, who we talked about earlier. I was just telling him today that there's a local guy here who's on our fishing team, Garrett Johnson, who he was driving home one day and got clipped on the interstate going 70 miles an hour. He had his brand new Hobie 360 in the back, and
oh,
I can't remember if he had a trailer or a bed extender. Something happened. It got thrown, and he had his Titan board leash with his aluminum catchboard, which is a 4-pound anchor, right?
yeah,
Like, and he said that the board leash, it was stretched out. It didn't break, but it was pretty
yeah.
stretched. It flew from the kayak, and the Titan is the only thing that kept it from going into oncoming traffic. Kept the 4-pound catchboard, which that
Yeah.
would have been a missile, man. Like
Oh, for sure.
that could have killed someone. And
Yeah.
so it's so fun. I mean, it's not funny, but
Yeah.
it's
No, I hear
ironic
what
that
you're
you
saying.
mention it. So
Mine
yeah,
would have been
that's
a missile too, dude. It would have been
yeah,
horrible for someone to
dude.
run that
Oh
catchboard
my
over.
gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah. So that's probably that and the phone tether are my two
It's
favorite.
called Titan for a reason, guys.
That's yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
Titan.
It's beefy. It's beefy for sure. So then we have two utility leashes. It's the Guardian 55 and the 115. Got kind of an assortment of colors here, so you can see the only difference is length. Functionality is exactly the same, and it's basically, again, you have your carabiner right there that you snap to your kayak, and then we just put an oversized split ring there that you can attach to your fish grips, pliers, even you can even do your catch boards. I would probably go with more like their polymer board for this type of a leash, just because
Yeah.
it's a little lighter duty.
Yeah.
That board is, but those are great, just general utility leashes. We've got a rod and paddle leash that has a quick detached strap on it as well. You just slide your paddle through there, cinch it down with the cord lock, and you're off. You're what we like to say is that up a creek without a paddle is antiquated. If you have one of these, like, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our leash and tethers. Then we have three other products that I'll show you real quick, that are our assist straps. Our first one, which is our newest one, this is This is called the extender handle strap. So the idea is it's about 20 inches long. You just loop this through the handle of your kayak, tie it down, and then it just becomes an extended handle for your kayak to where you don't have to bend down. The thing that I hate about all kayaks is that is your firm handle. It keeps your hand in one uncomfortable position even when you turn, right? So this allows you to your body to turn with your motion.
Especially if you have a bow mount up there, like it's hard to go up underneath. So that thing will come in clutch.
Yep. So that is it's also called the extender because you can also make our original drag strap that we offer, which is it's called the Ally Stand-Up Assist and Drag Strap. It's 28 inches long. You hook it on the same way. It's got a nice comfort grip handle on it. Really thick, really heavy duty. Some people say, hey, I wish this was a little bit longer. Well, what you can do is attach that to your kayak, loop this through, and then you've just made it 20 inches longer, which works for most people, you know, if they just want this to be a little longer. The last product that we have will go even further than that. And this is kind of the king of our drag straps, if you will. This is the model, full disclaimer, this is the model that we use on our trade show booth right behind me here. So it's a little cut down from the normal size, but it's normally it's a 8-foot strap that has a cam buckle. It's a 3/16 stainless steel cam buckle, super heavy duty, great for saltwater use as well. Again, this one's cut down, but normally this strap is 8 feet long, and you can adjust adjust it to be super short. You loop this in through the handle of your kayak like you do the other drag straps. And then you feed it through the cam buckle, and you can adjust it from there all the way out to 8 feet long if you have a steeper load in or load out, like on a river. A lot of times you might want more length even than the Ally and the extender combined, so you have more leverage, right? So it also makes for a great stand-up strap as well. You can drag your boat down to the water at this length. Then once you get to the water, you can adjust it out to where it's sitting right in your cockpit, and then you can use it to help you stand up in your kayak as well. All built into one strap. So, you know, it's nice and convenient and super heavy duty. I mean, this has been a great product for us. This is our second newest product, and it's been a great product for us since we released it. So that right now is our current line of products that we have. We've got a slew more coming that we've been working on. And
they also have some cool apparel. I love the hats.
We do, yeah.
And the shirts.
And we're actually running I've got one of those hats on as well. We have a very, very limited number of hats left right now. So if you see them, go get them while we got them. So but yeah, it's
so Mark, I know that you start with a foam leash, you have this whole lineup out. Any new products that you may want to drop a hint towards or talk to us about tonight?
We've got several products in the hopper right now. And some will be in the next 3 to 6 months. Some may be a year or beyond, just depending on the development that it takes for them. One of them.
Wait, I gotta stop you for a second. Do you have a child leash?
Hey, just use one of our drag straps, just loop it around their hand or something.
Yes,
I think that'll be good.
I think Joel may have just won a product tonight. I think that's probably like one of the greatest comments I've ever seen.
Joel, we'll give Joel a product outside of the ones we were planning on giving.
All right, Joel, that's epic, bro. Good job.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Go
ahead.
No, you're good. One thing that we're developing on right now, I can tell you the idea of the product, but as far as the specifics, we're working on several different potential solutions for it. One common problem with guys, we see a trend that motor mounts are becoming increasingly popular. Motors are becoming increasingly popular. The XI3, for example, is just dominating right now in the marketplace, and so a issue that you can have with those is actually not with the motor. I mean, they're built like a tank. But is the plastic remote can sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had it happen to you, but like where you connect the lanyard to,
Yep, it's
can
happened.
break,
And it
right? And
happens it happens so weirdly too. It's just like it just breaks. Like it's not
yeah,
even like tension or anything. Sometimes it just breaks. And I have talked to Motor Guide about it, and I know Mark, we've talked about it, but it's kind of designed that way, so that way they designed it too soft. They admit that they designed it too soft, but it was designed to break just
like as
in
a
case it.
safety.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Um, and but that leaves you with a broken remote that you can either go
yeah,
buy a $20 plastic replacement case again for it that might break again or could break again, or you have to go buy a totally new remote for it, right?
yeah,
So we're trying to figure out a solution right now, and we're working with different ideas from brackets to to a case for it. We're working through those ideas now, but that's something that is on the horizon for us, and is a very serious we're in the problem solving business, right? Like
yeah.
that's what we're doing, and
Yeah,
so
and
that's
saving kayak guys or kayak anglers their most valuable tools on the
yeah,
kayak.
yeah,
That's your
yeah,
guys' whole MO basically.
yeah. I mean,
And that
if motors
remote,
are
if you break that remote and you can't have it around your neck, then it becomes like kind of a nuisance because the whole
yeah, almost a
lanyard thing is a
liability for you.
convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, we're looking through ideas right now for that, and
I'm
that'll
excited.
we don't have any sort of a release date yet. We're still in the development stages of that, but be on the lookout. That's something that'll be coming for us sometime soon, along with a slew of other just awesome stuff. So yeah,
I'm
I
stoked.
thought the XI3 guy might be excited for that.
I'm stoked on that, man. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Any other things that you can maybe drop a little bit on,
You
or
know
that's
what?
that was the biggest.
I'll probably hold the rest close for right now.
All right.
I'll say this: we're working on a launch system for kayaks from trailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, more and more people are getting trailers, more
Mm-hmm.
people are getting motors, and so we're working on a way to easily and efficiently launch your kayak from a trailer. You know what? The adjustable drag strap that I showed you, that's the 8-foot strap with the
Yeah,
cam buckle. That works really well for pushing your kayak
that's what
off.
I use. Yep.
It also leaves 8 feet of line on your boat that you have to
Yep.
manage, right? And so
Yeah.
we're trying to figure out solutions as to how we can have a dedicated product for launching and retrieving at the end of the day your kayak onto your trailer. So
Yeah.
that again, we've got a couple of different versions that we're looking on that we're working on right now, but that's also kind of in the mix too. So
Stoked.
yeah.
Again, and also, you want to talk a little bit about that? You got a 3D printer recently?
I did, yeah. So yes, so we got a 3D printer, so we could start rapid prototyping some different products outside of leashes and straps, right? Like that's kind of
Yeah.
the beginning for us,
Yeah.
and so we have a lot more ideas in that realm, but we also want to explore product ideas outside of that. So we recently got a 3D printer. It's in about 10, 15 feet away from me right now. And then I don't think I've told you this, Shane, but we actually, about 3 days later, one of our employees came in and said, "Hey, I know you just got that 3D printer, but there's this 3D printer at like a local auction site." And we ended up getting a $2,000 printer for very cheap. So we actually have two 3D printers right now. So that is
Nice.
way overkill for what we need. But hey,
Nice.
that's the name of the game is overkill,
Well, it's
right?
exciting to see what comes out of that.
Yeah,
I
and
know we are kind of getting towards that hour mark.
yeah,
That's kind of where I try to keep it at least. So
cool.
one thing that I really wanted to ask you tonight, though, and again, for those of you guys that are here with us right now, really appreciate you guys. We're about to get into the giveaway, so hang tight. But one thing I wanted to ask you is what is the most important value that you look for? And I know, I believe Craig Brasher's, he runs your guys' the pro staff, right?
Hmm.
So
Correct.
what do you as an owner of a company look for in anglers when all these anglers are asking for pro staff deals and discounts and whatnot? Like, what makes an angler kind of stick out to you? Like, what are some key things that you look for?
Yeah, I think for myself personally, Craig may have some other ideas for what he's looking for, but for myself personally, it's about knowing almost like it's about knowing when you're laying it on too thick, or when to stop laying on. Everybody has seen the guy who's like the pro staffer who's just like trying to slam company X down everyone's throat, right?
Right.
And that, for me, that does more damage to a brand than it does help. And the entire reason for a pro staff position is, unfortunately, it's not professional staff, right? It's promotional staff, is
Promotional.
to
Yeah.
promote the brand. And so what I look for is people who are promoting the brand in a way that I would promote the brand, right? A very organic way, but also a messaging that might be similar of, hey, you've got a problem and we've got a solution. Check out
Yeah.
this thing from Rogue. This will save your phone. So that's really what I'm looking for, is people who know how to balance. I don't want, as much as I want Rogue to get out there, I don't want it to be force fed down somebody's throat,
Right.
And
Right.
so that's one of the first thing I'm looking for. If I get someone who's interested, or anything like that, I'll go to their Instagram or
Yep.
Facebook, and I'm just looking through their posts,
So if you go to their Instagram and you see in their bio and they got 1,400 pro staff discount codes.
Yeah, you know what? We don't even do the discount code thing. And it's not because I don't want people to get if you want a discount, sign up for our newsletter on the homepage of our website and you save 15%, right?
Boom.
So it's not that I don't want people to have a discount. It's that I don't want people to be, saying Shane 10 for 10% off, like on every post that you see.
Yeah.
Because again, I think that's more of a detriment than it is a help to the company. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for people who are very, who understand what they're doing, right? And know, and some of that can be taught, but a lot of it is a natural, just inherent thing that they have, right?
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you a straight up question. Is it more appealing that an angler maybe doesn't have like all the wins and the trophies, but he has a really good social media following, he's organic on social media, or is it, or do you look more for like the guy that's like constantly winning and like you want to have him on your team too? Or is it like, is it both, or is one a little bit more appealing than the other? I guess appeal wise, like
so
business wise, not friendship wise, not anything like business wise.
Yeah, it is genuinely both. And some other factors that play into it is geographical region. Where are they located at? Do we have, we're in Tennessee, and whenever I started our pro staff, I started it with local guys, right? And kind of spider webbed out. And so, you know what? We've got a lot of guys in Tennessee right now. I don't know that we need another. Obviously, there's always exceptions, right? And everything like that. But if we have somebody in Louisiana and we don't have any representation in Louisiana, if we go through our systems and our checks on them and everything balances out, I don't care if you've never won a KBF or Hobie or BASS tournament, or if you ever will. And we have guys like that are we have some guys who are not tournament anglers at all. Like they don't fish. They're hardcore river guys, and that's what they do. And I'm glad to have them on the team. And then we have Cody Henley. We have we have Derek Brundle, we have Craig, we have a lot of these big name, kind of national level guys. So it very much is a mixture of both.
And I think one important thing too, if you guys are listening right now and you're wondering like, how to get on a promotional staff team, or how to get sponsors or whatever. One thing that I've told people, and one thing that has helped me a lot, and this is just something that's helped me, and I'm just going to share it, is that like with me and Mark, I never came to Mark. I never asked anything really of Mark. But one thing that I did with Mark and Rogue specifically, I built a relationship with him, and a friendship with him. And that, I feel like that, and that's what I've done with multiple different companies. That goes so much further than just like, let me promote you on my Instagram, or let me promote you on my, on my tournament trail, like getting and building a relationship with these people. Because Mark is just a person. He's not just like this cash cow that's going to just hand out discount codes. He's the more you invest into companies, and the more that you spend time and help develop products and help give feedback of products, goes so much more than just like, look at who I am. What can you give me? It's more of what can I, I'm Shane. What can I do for you guys kind of deal? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at, Mark?
Yeah,
So,
totally. I'll say this because I know we're getting close to that hour mark.
yeah.
So I'll wrap this up quick. But when I'm looking at someone and someone says, I want to be on your pro staff, and I look and see that, obviously we have retailers across the country. They may have bought stuff from there. But if I see that you just placed your first order and then you emailed us saying that you want to be on our pro staff, it's probably not a great way to start out, right?
For sure, yeah.
I want people who know our products and trust our products and have put them through the ringer. And because those are the people that can go out and preach the gospel, right? Like, that's when you're at a boat ramp and you're like, bro, you've lost your phone. What do you, it's 2022, like you were saying earlier. So that's a non-negotiable is you've got to be using our products before you apply,
For sure. No doubt. And, all right. So we're kind of wrapping it up. So Mark, what is it that we have to give away tonight?
So I believe we had talked about doing a Ally stand-up assistant drag strap, which is this guy. This was one of our original products that we launched with. It's still one of my favorites as well. We had talked about one of those. We had talked about a phone tether.
Awesome.
And I think we had also mentioned maybe a Titan board leash as well.
Awesome.
Does that sound right?
Yes. And then outside of those three, did you offer Joel Woo?
Joel, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Joel, find me on Facebook and shoot me a message. Shoot me a friend request and then a message, and we'll get you squared away.
Yep. And then Joel, you can reach out to me too if you for some reason can't find him on Bass Nose Fishing on Instagram, and we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go back to that. So just for those of you guys hopping in, maybe he asked this epic question tonight. Do you have a child leash?
We will
Joel,
soon.
Congratulations, man. You may lose your child, but you'll never lose your phone now that you have a phone leash.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's get into this. Okay, so for those of you guys listening right now, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so we're gonna have to kind of maybe kill a little bit of seconds. If you guys are listening right now, and I know that when we did the cash and rod last week, everyone just blew up the comment section and did like multiple hashtags. But if you guys could just do hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. Okay, let's just do hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. Just put it one time in the chat, and everyone that puts it in the chat, I'm gonna scroll through them and then I'm gonna pick a winner. But again, just do one comment of Rogue Fishing Co. And then so we'll wait for that to kind of go through because I think there's like a 15-second delay with the folks listening live. Again, hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. If you guys want an opportunity to win these 3 products right now. All right, here they come.
There they are.
There they are. All right, keep them coming, guys. We'll give it a little bit. We got, I think we see like 18 or 20 people like watching live right now, which is awesome. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. It was a great episode. Mark, as they're doing hashtag fishing or Rogue Fishing Co. Anything you kind of want to like close the night out with? I don't know, anything you want to kind of take us home with?
For anybody that's watching, I just that has believed in us, whether it be from the beginning like yourself, Shane, or if you're a new customer now, or even if this is your first exposure to the brand. Like I sincerely want to tell you how grateful I am for any purchase, any post, anything that you've done for us. I mean, it genuinely, like, this is a dream of mine, and this is an industry that we love. I love to be in, and so it's a dream come true. It literally, like, you may think, it's a $20 phone tether. It's helping save my phone. It's also literally helping put food on my table for my kids too. So genuinely, like, anybody who's out there who has or will, or even if you won't and you're just willing to listen to me talk for an hour, thank you for your time, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I honestly, dude, your story is incredible. I'm so stoked. I can't wait to see what happens in the future of Rogue. I know it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
I know that we just had like an uptick in views. So if you guys are listening, last chance, give it one more second. Hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. Drop it in the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, and we will. I'm going to scroll through and pick a winner. Dominic, I said one comment. So Dominic just dropped like 4 or 5 Rogue Fishing Co's. So anyways, Someone asked where you guys located. You guys are located in Nashville, Tennessee, right? Or
Yeah,
right around there.
just south.
Yeah.
We're in Columbia, Tennessee. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Ethan said, y'all are lucky. I got to listen to him talk for 8 hours a
Poor
day.
dude, man. Yeah, I know. I have to listen to myself talk all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So Dominic, okay, I'm gonna start right here because I think that's kind of where it kind of ended. Okay. So thank you guys for putting hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. So I'm gonna start right here at Ballin21, and I'm just gonna scroll through. Let me see. I got a new comment. Okay. I'm gonna scroll through with my eyes closed, and then I'll just land on one, and then we'll drop them up. What's first? What's up for grabs first? The stand up.
Let's do the stand up assistant drag.
Okay, here we go. Justin Moppin, my boy down here in SoCal. Justin Moppin. So Justin, you can reach out to Mark directly, Mark Drury on Facebook, or you can reach out to my Instagram, and then we'll just get you taken care of. But you won. You want to show it, Mark, what he won?
Yeah. You got this is one of our original products. That's the Ally stand-up assistant drag strap. It's a great product, changes the angle that you're dragging your kayak, saves your back from someone who's had a major back surgery. This came from a necessity. I had to have something. And so, it's a great product to just drag your kayak to and from your truck.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
All right. What's up next? Let's save the phone leash for last because that's like the most popular one. So
we'll do
what's next?
The Titan board leash.
All right. Titan board leash. Here we go. Titan board leash. Ready? Chris Kimbrough. Hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. Nice. Sweet, man. All right, Chris, you want a Titan board leash. Basically, the Titan board leash is the perfect leash for the catch boards. Mm-hmm. I use one on mine. I never go on the water without that Titan board leash. So congrats, Chris. You're the man. Another SoCal guy, a couple SoCal anglers in here tonight. Sweet.
Also, with the leashes, if you're messaging me or Shane, if you'll let us know what color you want, you can see all the colors just by going to the website, roguefishing.co. And you can see all the colors there, but let us know what color as well.
All right. Now the phone leash.
Yes. The phone leash.
I'm going to get better at this. I know a couple of people were commenting like make it fair and stuff, but this is fair. This is as fair as it's going to get tonight. Again, I'm still getting used to these platforms and stuff, but I know that there's wheels and stuff that we can do. I'm working on that. Bear with me. But we'll get this all dialed in soon enough. But this is how we're doing it tonight. How about that? Can you see the comments, Mark?
Yeah, I can.
You can see the comments on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna let Mark. I know he knows a couple people in here, but Mark, just pick the last winner for the phone leash, buddy. Out of hashtag Rogue Fishing Co. You can see
right
towards the middle. They kind of you see them all right there. So
yeah, let's go, Mr. Lance Matson.
Sweet. Lance Matson, congratulations, man. You won a Rogue Fishing phone tether, and this thing will save the day every time. I promise you.
Yes. It is awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, Mark. So we have Lance, we have Justin, and we had Joel, who won the best comment of the night. And then Chris Kimbrough. You guys listening, send a message to Mark's Facebook page, Mark Drury. If you can't find it for some reason, reach out to me on Bass Nose Fishing Instagram, and we'll get you guys taken care of. Mark, man, that was really fun, dude. Again, super stoked to be a part of your team. Better yet, be a part of your, be a friend of yours. Yeah. And are you going to be at Kentucky Lake by any chance for the national championship since it's close, or have you thought about it?
Yeah, we'll be there. If they're doing an exhibit, we should be exhibiting as well. It's been weird just with supply chain issues the last couple of years. We weren't able to do it in Louisiana. I was there, but this is in our backyard, so we'll be there for sure. So if you're there, come on up and say, hey, I'd love to meet you.
The plan is that I'm there. So we'll see what happens.
Yes.
My wife is pregnant with the second kid on the way.
Yes.
So there's a whole bunch of obstacles in the way. I'm just kidding. There's a whole bunch of things going on around here at the Bass Nose Fishing Podcast, but we'll see how it all works out. My plan is to go to Kentucky Lake, though.
Awesome.
Anyways, Mark, thank you so much for joining us tonight, dude. I know that you're at the office still. Again, congratulations on the success, man.
Thanks,
and
man.
Maybe we'll have you back on the show towards the end of the year when you get some new products hopped
Come
out, and
on,
we'll come
we'll
back and
do
talk
it.
about it.
I love it. I love it.
All right, Mark. Well, hey, man. Hey, you keep your thumbs ripped, bro, and I'll see you guys. And thank you guys for joining tonight. As always, keep your guys' thumbs ripped, and we'll see you on the next one.